All right. Greetings, greetings, greetings. Excuse me, family, friends, and the world. This is Mikael Eric Harris, better known as the Juice, also known as the Alkaline Water Guy. How is everyone doing this night? This is the night after Sunday, and I'm actually an hour late. I was doing some things a little earlier, almost slipped it did slip my mind, but I had to come on because I was a little busy a little earlier. So about an hour late. It's a little after 10 right now. You usually come on at 9 p.m. Eastern time, but it's a little after 10 at the moment. And we're going to do a recap, or not really a recap. It's more like it's called, well, should I say first, this is Fight Fire with Truth, and this is open conversation. But the open conversation tonight is a pickup. I don't know how to say rebut, not rebut, but it's a pickup from my story of my story question and answers, part three and four. This is part 3 and 4 because we did 1 and 2 last week. And this is my story of the things I did leaving Detroit. First, before I even get started, let me do the prayer. Then we'll go into those formalities of everything that's going on for the night. All right? Blessed be thou, Father of the universe, that bring forth all living creatures forth from the earth. Blessed be thou, Father of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Blessed be the Father of Israel. Blessed be the Father of 12 tribes of Israel. Thank you, Father, for all you've done, been doing, and plan to do. We ask you to keep giving us wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, life, health, and strength, food, shelter, and clothing. Let us be happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, and prosperous in all that we do. We ask you to keep leading and guiding us so we can help lead and guide others in your knowledge, your word, your ruach, and your way. We ask you to keep your arm protection around us. Help us in every way. Allow us to grow in your great light, in your spirit, that we all may come to you and do your will and wake up as a people in this world today. We ask you to forgive us of the things we have done in time past, today's time and time to come, and also forgive us, our ancestors and our forefathers, for going against you, your law, your word, your will, and your ruach, which is your spirit. Forgive us from going against those things. And we know we've trespassed against you, and you also trespass against us. We ask you to forgive us of our deeds and correct us in measure in our ways, and help us in every way, whether it's physical, mental, emotional, financial, or spiritual. In all these things we pray. Hallelujah. 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 Thank you, Almighty. Praise you, Almighty. Thank you, Father. So, this is the night after Sunday, which we say Sunday night. And yesterday, or the day, was September 21st, 2025. And this is actually the second night where we're at right now. Yesterday was the first day of the new month, the lunar month of the lunar calendar. And this right here is the first, should I say, the second night, because the first night was last night. This is the second night of the 6th month. Second night of the 6th month according to the lunar calendar. So, but other than that, we're picking up from where, there we go. We're picking up from where we left off last week. We're picking up from where we off last week. And this is the life of Mikael, question and answer, part 3 and 4. The life of Mikael, question and answer, part 3 and 4. But this is part 1 of part 3 and 4. So, as I was stating, me and G1 was having a conversation the week before last, and he wanted to know some of the things I did, and when as of leaving Detroit, going to Germany, and the things I did throughout my life. And we had like a small conversation about it, and I said, let's have a conversation about like a small interview with me, or about some of the things I've done, and I'm kind of like going through my story. So now, last week, from what I remember from when we left off at, I was talking about when I made it to Germany. I gave my story from when I was in Detroit, and then growing up in Detroit, dancing, performing with the groups and things, and family and friends and everything I was with at that time, short, but with some things I went through. Then I got to Germany, and when I got to Germany, I think I was sharing the information about my children's mother. Last I can remember saying, I was talking about my children's mother here, my two oldest girls' mother here, and when I left Detroit, when I got to Germany, and how she used to trigger me. And then I got with my new lady named Karen, which had my two boys now. When I got with her, it was like the trigger was broken, So that was the last I remember. But I thought I remember sharing about Imperial as well. And we talked about Imperial, and I believe I talked about um, G1. Do you remember me telling you any of the part of the story of me performing last week?
Yeah, you talk different points of it, yeah, different things at times of it.
So before we even get started,
Get deep into the songs and the music. It was more so just about how you got into things and where you came from and how you went, how you left, why you left, how you ended up out there, how you end up in places, and then you kind of went through
certain things.
up to how you.
Yeah. So is there any questions in those things that we remember up to that point that you want to ask?
Well, it's a bunch of things, so probably got to hop and skip around because I got mad different questions. Like I said, just like about even just the music itself, the different symbolism about the songs, the lyrics, just the styles, just different things. I have brought up the dance because I noticed, like you said, your whole thing was you were a choreographer in the group, so it made me. That's why we went back to your history about why you dancing, to dancing and everything like that, which led you meeting your kid's mom and leaving and all of that kind of stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so yeah, it was a bunch of
This thing's starting to go in and out again. Could you repeat that last part again?
where did last words you heard?
You everything you said up until you was about to say the last part. The last part start going. It starts skipping. This my know it's my mic on this side. I know in the computer in the full version they're gonna be able to hear you, but it was just skipping right there where I couldn't hear a couple of words you were saying.
Yeah, like you said, everything was leading up to dance history. Meeting your children's mom, and leaving and everything like that. But yeah, the music and we didn't really get into so much the group and just the meaning of it and just like and the draw some of the parallels of the music and actually with your life and things of that.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well I can share a little bit of that. I can give a little bit of the story of of that, and then we can go into it. And that way, I can give you. It's more like some of the stories you can feed off of from what I can share with you, and then we can go back over the questions. Or you want to ask a couple of questions now, and then I go over the story. It's up to you how you want to do it.
What's better is it more to finish up the part two? Because did you check out pinpoint?
Yep, yep. Yeah, so what I'll do is I'll get to that point, and then you can feed off that if that's all right.
Well, no, I want to stay because like I said, I had three questions up and down and points up without any of this stuff. So it's the things I don't even relate to what you're about to say. Now that's just gonna raise up more questions that I might. But yeah, I definitely want to touch on the things that I made points to ask about. But,
Come on, if you want to do that now, we can do that.
okay, well, hopefully it don't mess up nothing we was about to do. But all right, so we already talked about the fact that it's electro dance music. Is this is the Europe, so it's Euro electro dance.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I got some other notes on my phone, and I wrote some notes down too. So basically, the musical element. So it's a strong Euro dance backbone, pounding 4/4 beats, layered synths, dramatic chord progressions. The tracks borrow from classic Latin phrases, giving a martial, almost imperial energy. And the female vocalist, what's her name? What's the female vocalist name?
Okay, the female vocalist on Vinny Vidi Vici, her name was Manuela. She was the female vocalist and performer um, for Vinny Vidi Vici. But for Quo Vadis and for Nostra Cooper, it was this other sister, I'm saying sister, but she was another young lady. Her name was Manuela Ray. She
Were they
performed.
Spanish? Or what were they? What's their backgrounds?
I know Manuela. She was Austrian. She was from Austria. Now Manuela Ray, she I forgot. She was a different. She was of a different ethnic group. I don't remember what it was, but she was more bland with a little bit of melanin, but she wasn't us. But she was a melanin. She was had a little melanin in her. But she was spoiled like a brat. But
Personality wise, okay.
yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
kind of attractive. I was noticing that he was kind of cute. Both of the ones I see. But
Mm,
all right. So symbolism and meaning of the Veni Vidi Vici. It says I translates to I came, I saw, I
I
con.
conquer.
Um.
Yeah, that was our
Um.
first. That was our first single.
But
Benny Beatty. What you finished? I'm sorry, I want to cut
no,
you
no,
off.
I wasn't. I wasn't. I was just. Yeah, I'm breaking that down, and
Okay,
it translates to I came, I
I
saw, I
I
conquered.
conquered. Okay,
So
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
1990s context, it symbolized cultural conquest. Eurodance was spreading across the globe, crossing borders and merging cultures. Artistically, it's about empowerment, triumph, and asserting identity in an age of globalization.
Okay.
You agree with that?
Somewhat. I could say yes. Categorically, when it comes to full world situation, yes. With the style of dance and music, I could say partially yes because I couldn't say fully, but I could say yes to that as well because all of it is under the Roman Empire, and that's what I come to find out later on as I went through my spiritual awakening and things like that. But I'm glad you're breaking it down the way you're doing because we're able to bring out history, real history, with what the Father, I'm saying Father, Creator brought me through to understand what you actually bringing to the table.
Well, yeah, the Rome and the like, just the whole Roman Empire theme. Even in that song, she's saying, "I gotta let you take control." She's saying, "I got to let you take control."
Control, yep.
Yeah, yeah. So she's even saying, like in a sense, the music has gotta take control, and like you said, the Roman is kind of parallel with the Roman Empire taking control.
Of the world, truthfully.
Yeah, and Rome means strength. Roman is from Rome, and that is Greek origin for strength. So
Yep.
yeah, I noticed in that video too. At the end of one of them, the Vidi Vidi Vici, the Caesar character, he gets killed. He's like that.
That's right.
Yo, was he part of the group? Who was that guy that played that character? 'Cause I noticed he's in a couple. He's in the other video as
Yeah,
well.
quote, Nostra Cooper.
That's his name now.
No, no, no. That was the name of the last video that I was in that we did. I did 3 videos, 3 songs.
To that character, to that man, is that guy? He a part of the group? Was he like the songwriter?
No, no, no. The producer had him particularly playing Caesar. Yeah, the producer had him playing Caesar particularly. Um, I don't know. That's I mean, when you look at Caesar, when a little what they call them molds or figures or statues of Caesar, they have little. But he wasn't that big, but he was like small, bald headed with the little ring with the ring crowned
With that
on the wreath,
okay.
that wreath crown.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So just to add on to what you were sharing, and what I've come to find out, when I first got with Imperial, I didn't know what it meant, and I didn't have an understanding. All I know is that the group name was Imperial, and the producer placed everything, put everything together, made the music and everything else. So the producer name was Norbert Reichert, right? So Norbert Reichert actually had Tyrone Vincent, which was the guy who brought me in as the hype man, choreographer, rapper, and dancer in the live shows. I would do the live show. I was getting paid for the live shows at this time. So like I said, I was the hype man, choreographer, rapper, and dancer. Now Manuela and Tyrone Vincent, they were the male and female vocalists. Now them two was the group at first. Like I said, I was the hype man, choreographer, rapper, and dancer. But as we got to going on, I started asking questions, and it was told to me that Veni Veni Vici mean I came, I saw, I conquered. Then I just knew it related to the Bible. So all I knew it had something to do with the Bible. Now, in these latter days, or after I got out the group and started learning more about uh, my actual culture, what I'm into after going through my spiritual awakening, which we're going to get back to, I ended up finding out that the Roman Empire is who I was working for by being in Imperial.
On that thought, because you're gonna get a chance to draw these type of points up, but I want to go in a different order.
Okay, okay,
Yeah. So next, I want to get to the Quo Vadis video.
okay.
That was the next song you guys did, the next video, and Quo Vadis, what I have right here wrote down. I noticed that it had some when I listened to it. It had this Apollo 1 NASA takeoff intro.
You was paying attention, bruh. You was paying attention.
Yeah, so
He did some studying.
I mean, this was all in like one. Yeah, like I said, I just went in. I did a deep dive, and why half step? You know what I mean? Let's just really go in.
That's on point. You're right. I'm glad you did, bro.
I'm not just looking for the surface. Just like, yeah, I heard the song. I'm really trying to dig in and listen to the symbology of what because it's like a movie. Why because it takes time to make a movie, right? They put in certain things have to be shown, and like what do they say? A picture's worth 1,000.
There you go. 1,000 words.
Everything has a point. They're not waiting to give it a to something that doesn't have a meaning. You know what I mean? So in audio wise, I'm listening to it and watching the video, so it's like these things are all trying to paint a picture and draw up something, and that's even deeper. A lot of times, what a Wu-Tang Killer, Master Killer on the Wu-Tang Clan says that don't be intrigued by,
Don't be intrigued by the.
basically the beat. They just only hear the beat, but they're not listening to what's being programmed.
Exactly.
Like a lot of people, they'll listen to it and only hear just the music and that drum. For me, no, it's the deeper meaning. I'm not just getting tuned out by the music and just.
You actually listening to the lyrics, seeing what's being said.
And right. So all right. So boom. So Imperial Quo Vadis, 1995. It says this one is a more darker, more haunting compared to Veni Vidi Vici. Heavy use of choral vocals and Gregorian chant-like textures layered over club beats gives a strong sacred versus profane duality. The dance floor as a kind of cathedral.
Well, that sounds more like Nostra Cooper.
Oh, you saying like the video wise?
Yeah, the song that sounds more like Nostra Cooper. Now, when you were saying Quo Vadis mean where do you go? I ended up finding out later. Quo Vadis mean.
No, I'm getting to that. You're jumping ahead.
I'm my fault. My bad.
I know you like to talk, but just let me.
I'm listening.
When you'll know when it's time for you to interject.
I got you. I'm listening.
Yeah. Just for now, just listen. Yeah. So Quo Vadis means where going. So a deeply existential and spiritual question, famously tied to Christian legend. So the track feels like it's not just about dancing, but about destiny and searching, moving forward, and confronting the unknown. Because remember, like I was saying, they have this intro, and the video is kind of futuristic. There's like a futuristic theme, like
Yep.
Roman, the previous video, Vidi Vidi Vici, they're conquering kind of the global dominance of the world, putting everybody under the Roman Empire. But now it's like, well, Vadis is like, where are we going? It's asking the question, you know, where are you going? And so, all right, so the track, it feels like it's not just about dancing, but about destiny and an anthem for certain moving
Oh, he
forward.
really broke it down. That's good. He did a good job, bro.
Yeah, confronting the unknown. So, in contrast to the triumphant energy of Veni Vidi Vici, this one asks, what is the purpose of our journey? Right? So, I have some more notes.
Now, I'm glad you had, wait a minute. While you right there, I wanted to add something to where you at. Because I feel there's prophecy in that song, Quo Vadis. And I'm going to share with you, even when I was doing it.
You're getting ahead of
Okay. I just don't want to, I don't want to miss the opportunity.
to the point where you're going to be able to add that.
Okay.
Basically, the stage presence was like a ritualistic, futuristic choreography would play like contrast, martial movements, fluid, trance-like gestures. Now, the role you played as choreographer, you channel a lot of the ritual energy in this song, embodying the tension between power and questioning. So, in conclusion, can you draw for me, you know, the duality of the songs? Veni Vidi Vici is an external conquest, power, success, cultural spread, and then
Boy, he bringing it out. Mm-hmm.
Vadis equals internal quest, meaning, direction, and existential search. So, for you, what did the victory and destiny mean to you personally during this time? Because it's like you're living out even though, like you said, it's about the Roman Empire underneath and stuff like that, with these Quo Vadis, these terminology, these phrases are Latin and Roman. So, but at the same time, what victory and destiny mean to you at this time? Or like, were you aware that that's what these songs mean? Or were you just on the surface level, just dancing and going, living in the moment, not really what these songs mean? Or you understand that they you know, the deeper meanings to this?
Now I can have the floor?
Yep.
Bruh, all I can say is, on your research, you're bringing out stuff that I didn't even understand, but I seen it at a later time. I love the way you did that, bro. For real, you bringing out information that's actually going on today, because everything you explain is what the Roman Empire has done, realistically in this day and time. But like you just asked me a question. When I was doing it, I was on the surface, huh?
Let me add this too to the backdrop for the people. You know, in 1995, Germany was a hub for Eurodance. It was multicultural groups, singers, dancers, choreographers from all over the world.
That's right.
Became symbols of a new European identity. And you being from Detroit but living in Germany represents that global bridge. American dance influence meeting European classical fusion. So Imperial wasn't just music; it was symbols, Latin, Roman imagery, Christian references with futuristic soundscapes. Their enduring appeal comes from this timeless blend. Fans remember not just the beats, but the mythic feelings they evoke. So, like again, what did victory and destiny mean to you personally to this time? And I'm gonna ask all these questions together.
I mean, you're going in and out a little bit. You're going in and out a bit. Repeat that. You said I'm gonna ask these questions together, and then what you say? What you say?
And you can just, I'm gonna let you just go on, and you can add everything in. So, what did victory and destiny mean to you during these times? Or were you aware, like I said, of the meaning of these songs you were portraying these choreographies and being a part. And also, you bring Detroit dance hip hop into the European techno scene. And 3, did you see yourself more as a performer, a messenger, or a bridge between cultures? Also, looking back, do you think that Vini Vidi Vici and Quo Vadis two sides of your own life story then?
Looking back, yes, I do. Everything you just shared, looking back, I see the truth, the understanding, and the part I played in it. The part I played in it really was spiritually, because the spiritual point I played in is what you're actually bringing out, stuff that I didn't know until later on. But when I got with the group, I was just getting like just like a person got with a group. I'm dancing just like if I got in a new job. I'm helping this job do something, but I don't really know the concept of what the job is really doing. Whether if the job is hurting people or helping people. I didn't know that point. All I knew is that I was performing because there was something that I was sharing with you last week that me and my group, when we grew up, we talking about that we was gonna grow up, we're gonna try to get into business and do what we do. I ended up coming to Germany, and it's all of the creator because I had to go through that, not knowingly, but spiritually. The Father brought me through that to bring me to where the same questions you asking now, I can see them spiritually because I seen it after I went through my spiritual awakening. And then I look back on my life, I started to see and understand. Because like I shared before, when I got with Imperial, all I knew was the song. I told the male vocalist, Tyrone Vincent, if we get with it, I said, if it's got a beat to it, it's going to be a hit. That's all I knew. I didn't understand the concept. I heard Imperial, and Imperial, people used to say, yeah, Imperial. But Imperial was our group name, which is Imperio, Imperial. So I really still had no concept. I had no understanding. Then I understood that Veni Vidi Vici meant I came, I saw, I conquered. Then I understood that it was of the Roman Empire. And that Caesar said this. This is the things that Caesar said. So now pieces are coming together for me, but I still have no understanding. I just got pieces now that's coming together. Still in the world, doing what I'm doing, but just pieces come together for me to get an understanding, but not a full understanding. So now I'm performing. I'm having a great time. I'm in Germany. I'm doing my thing. I think last week I shared about the group Smooth Eyes in Motion. That was a year before. Now I got with Imperial, and we're starting to perform. And as I think I shared last week.
So a question like, pardon me, I need to cut you off. So a question like, what did victory and destiny mean to you personally during that time? Would it make sense because you wasn't really looking at the songs in that way?
Right. The only victory and destiny was that I made it in the music business career, and I'm performing. That's the only destiny and victory was for me at that time. Looking at it on a mundane.
Looking back at it, yeah.
When I
asked that question, that was for like in the present moment, like how you was able to think about how you was thinking in that moment.
That's what I'm talking about, in that moment. But looking at it today,
looking back at it, you can maybe break it down.
I can break it down now. Looking back, as I said, when you sit back and look on your life, you can understand things a lot better. At that time, to me, I made it in the business. I made it to a quote unquote star. Got a gold CD. Our first single within the first 3 months, we got to go. We sold and got a $250,000, 250,000 of our first single. Put out that first single. From that, then we made the video. Then after the video, we're touring, and we're just building. We're building momentum. And all I'm beginning to know is that this is of the Roman Empire. All I know is this is of the Bible. And that's all I understood at that time. And then, I don't know if I shared this part yet or not, but after Veni Vini Vici, Tyrone Vincent and Manuela, what Tyrone Vincent was the head of, he was trying to get me out kicked me out of the group because jealousy was beginning to form, and I don't know why. I think I shared that last week as well, but I don't know why jealousy started to formulate. But we were growing. We was getting big as a group together. And as I was the hype man, choreographer, rapper, and dancer, the producer liked my vibe. He liked my performance. And he made me a third of the group. So when he made me a third of the group, that's when jealousy started kicking in, and this is when they tried to get me kicked out of the group. And I couldn't get in contact with the producer for quite some time. So I think I shared last week, I believe I did. If I didn't, we went to go do the video. I shared about Karen, what happened with her, and her leg being cranked, which is broken. And this was just before we went to go do the first video. So yeah, I believe I shared that last week. So
This is you're repeating yourself. We already went through all of this.
right. So I'm just saying.
Let's do talk about different points. But all right. So listen, here I got some more questions. Setting the stage, life in Germany in the mid '90s. You were from Detroit, but living in Germany at this time.
Mm-hmm.
Like you were conquering new ground personally, kind of like a VT moment.
Kind of, yeah, kind of, but I can't, I can't really. Yeah, my head isn't. I don't believe I ever had a big head, so I couldn't say.
You wasn't looking at it in that term. You were just kind of like happy.
I was just having a great time. That's all I really was doing. I was just having. I didn't come over there thinking I wasn't stuck up. I would party with the people, but I will say this. Because we was about to get into Quo Vadis. I hadn't got to that yet because this is where we're going to move from Vinny Beach into Quo Vadis. But I didn't get a chance to.
You're gonna get more chances. We're not even nowhere near off Quo Vadis. Like,
no, we haven't even got to Quo Vadis yet.
huh?
We haven't even gotten to Quo Vadis yet.
Well, no, that's the song Where You Going. We talked about it already.
No, you spoke on it. I was getting ready to talk on it, but you wanted me to hold up and wait.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, there's plenty of chances because I got more questions, like, about everything. I'm kind of just going in order. So just kind of like answer the question and then I'll ask another one.
Okay. Well, mostly stay right now. With mostly stay at the point of Vinny Beatsy because Quo Vadis is a whole nother genre era, but it's still a part of what you were saying. I got that as a part of what you're saying because I understand being in the mix of Vinny Beatsy was more like conquering, and that's what actually was going on in the world, but also with what we was doing with the music. But as you was sharing, Quo Vadis is on a whole different level according to what it was meaning, according to what you was asking as well.
Listen, what did victory? No, that question. Wait, no. All right, so. Alright, I'm gonna ask, what was the energy like in Germany's music scene compared to Detroit? Did you feel space or right at home?
I felt right at home. I felt right at home because they had the techno over there, which Detroit style was techno at the time, but they had more like a techno beat, like 808 beat. They had Dr. Dre, when Dre's beat, and they had Egypt, Siberian Night, and stuff like that here in Detroit. They had a few of those songs over there, but majority of those songs and music over there was on that same level, but more like a little bit higher tone when it came to the dance floor style, So, and I met a lot of different stars over there that some of the songs that made it over here as well. And some were still trying to migrate come this way. But yeah, I had I had a great time. I mean, when I was performing, it was like I was in heaven. That's all I can say.
All right, so question. When people look back at the Euro dance movement, they often call it the soundtrack of an era. What did it feel like being inside that era, creating the sound and image?
What did it feel like? I couldn't say actually mostly what it actually felt like, besides just being in a great spot, a great time, being a star. I just have to say it like that because I don't like tooting my horn on like that. But being in a star status, performing, touring, people loving you, it was just man, it was just beautiful, and that's mostly where my mind is at. And I mean, other than that, I had much respect. Um, it was beautiful, It's a
Okay, that's good. Let me get to the next one. As the role of a performer, as a choreographer, you weren't just moving to the music; you were in the spirit of the songs. How do you approach that?
the spirit of the song. Let's say, okay, that question I can go with this. With Vinny Beatty Beatsy, it's a certain song that everybody hears. It's not a song, it's a chant or whatever of Roman Empire that you may hear today. When I listen to music, it's like I'm engulfed with it and I can kind of put something to it, whatever it is. And when I heard certain things, I just know what to do. So my spirit, I guess that's where my spirit is when it comes to music. So with Benny Benny VC, it was more like it was the Roman style, Roman Benny Benny VC. Now I can't even think dun 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 sound like soldiers, and marching, and that was just that I would adapt to whatever that music was and how it would go. So
Spirit of soldiers and stuff like that. Okay.
yeah, because the Roman soldier, that was Rome. Rome conquered. They conquered everywhere they went. And like I said, at the time, I was oblivious. I was ignorant to what real Rome was doing to the world. But all I knew is that I was performing in that genre and I was moving spiritually accordingly, not even understanding what I was doing. But when Quo Vadis came, it was more like a Quo Vadis. I can't sing it like that, but and that was more of the type of an orchestra. And then like I said, in Quo Vadis, it was a prophecy in there that was spoken. You may have heard it. It was spoken in there that's happening with me today. And just before I came and said, break this beat, break this beat, break this beat and stomp your feet. That's what he had me saying. Just before that would come in, he'd have like an insert say, how it go? It said, a change for the future. That insert is what's going on today. That insert, a change, it said a change for the future or something for the future. I can't remember how it go right off. But when it says something for the future, you can hear it and then you'll hear me say, break this beat, break this beat, break this beat, and then stomp your feet. So that's what I was saying. That was my lyric that they had me saying. The producer did. So that insert is what I'm doing today. That insert is what I went through. That little insert, and you know what? It resonated with me. When I listened to the song, it resonated with me. When I'm doing the performances, it resonated with me. I didn't know how. I didn't understand what, why, or in what way until after I went through my spiritual awakening to find out the things and understand what I'm doing today. But that being in Quo Vadis, and then it says where you go, because if you notice at the end of Quo Vadis, we blew the world up. The whole world exploded. And really what it was, is just like you were sharing in your questions earlier.
Isn't that when you guys escaped the world? You were escaping the
We
world.
was on a spaceship. We was on a spaceship.
And you guys were leaving, like, when Empire destroyed, they were war, and it's like leaving.
That's why it says where you go. We was like in space. And you wouldn't believe it was a movie that came out back in the day with Louis Gossett Jr. and I believe what's his name? Kevin Costner, I believe it was, named Enemy Mine. We actually did it on the set of Enemy Mine. If you ever look up or go into the old movies back in the day, it was a movie where the spaceships had humans and alien beings as slaves, and they had this collar they had not too long. They had a few years back. These collars around your neck that used for Bluetooth, same thing, just like them, but they was around their neck. And what it was is we was when we first started off, we be down in the cave where it was like a some type of underground dragon or whatever. We was actually in that cave, and then we end up after the first point of it, we end up being in the spaceship. We was on both of those was on the set of Enemy Mine. Enemy Mind. And, and that's where Kevin Costner and Louis Gossett Jr. It was an alien and a human, and they became friends, and they was trying to fight and whatever. But that was on that ship, and also while I was there, they had the real alien. I took a picture with him in one of the magazines, like I was holding his jaw. Once the mouth come out, I was holding his jaw, and she was standing on the other side of the tall. It wasn't a statue. It was not a statue, but it was a figurine of the alien, the actual aliens. So, man, that was a good time. That was Quo Vadis, and that was like I said, it was beautiful. And when I did that video, and also when they made a compilation, and the video started off, and I had never seen the video yet. I had already went and did it. But when they made the compilation, I happened to be at home with my woman and my brother-in-law, or her brother, should I say. We was all looking at TV, and I remember hearing saying, "Stomp your beat, say, break this beat, break this beat, break this beat, and stomp your feet." I went to the television. I came up, break this beat and stomp your feet, like that came in, and I looked, and it said, "Wow!" It started the whole video. That point of the video, the commercial started the whole video, and then it started talking about all the other compilation. But that point, I started the whole, man, I was, man, you don't know how that feel. To see yourself on nationwide TV starting in a commercial, and you hyping it up, and you getting the camera like that, man, it's beautiful. And it's on the video. As a matter of fact, if you go to Quo Vadis and see the video when we was on the ship, when you look at the whole video, you'll see me doing it you'll see me coming to the camera like that. And that's how I started the commercial. I was like, man, I was shocked. I was like, man, and then another thing just wanted to share with you. I never saw myself dance before. Before that time, I never actually saw myself dancing. And I always can feel the moves, whatever, I always can feel it, but I never saw myself. But when I saw myself in Quo Vadis, I was like, man, boy, he can throw. And then I said, that's me. But I was shocked at the fact of seeing myself dancing. To me, was the first time seeing myself dance on national TV, as well as just actually looking at the video. Even in Beanie Beanie BC, I got I'm just a dancer, so I'm doing certain things. I see myself spin, I see myself doing certain things. But when I saw that one, it blew my mind. It blew my mind. And I was like, man, I was shocked. So, yeah, man, all I can say is that I had a great time, and I was just in heaven, in the mind at that time. I was like in heaven. I was just in heaven, man, doing what I want to do.
You hear me, bro?
I'm listening now. I can hear you.
Yo, I said when this producer is having you say stuff, you guys aren't talking about the lyrics and what they mean. He just had you say it.
That's his production. He had me come in. He had me.
But like when you're a group, I know sometimes people just at least you guys just didn't have just casual discussions about, hey, this is what this means. This is the meaning, and this is.
Bruh, I'm just glad to be there because this is my first time. When you first getting in. Now, if I was there for some years and I was able to pull some clout or what have you, it'd probably been a different story. But this was my first year, and this was like when in Quo Vadis, I was like maybe. Say that again.
So you're not like a family. This is more like this is a job.
Yeah, more like a job. That's what I'm saying. It was like I said. I got with him at first. I was a hype man, choreographer, rapper, and dancer. He loved when it came to my performance, whatever it was to come to me dancing. I had free range. When it comes to the floor and me dancing, I had free range to do what I want to do. But when it came to the producing and the lyrics and all, that was him.
You were having discussions about your dance
No, we didn't have to do none of that. I didn't have to. I mean, I was like, I was kind of like Barry Sanders or,
Hold on, son. I'm trying to frame the question. Like, so like how the like directors when they are working with actors and they say, I want you to think that you're in this, they tell you how to get into a certain mode or what the energy they want you to draw up. He never had to tell you anything. You guys never had to have these type of
no, because he knew it's just like me. Let me put it like this. I'm a choreographer. If a person say, well, I want you to do this, I want you to make a routine to this song. And he give me the song, I go make the routine. If I come back, ain't no questions asked. You asked me to do it, this is my art. This is my art, this is my work. So the same thing with
like listen, what I'm trying to say is like how directors and actors, right? Actors are like you could be the best actor in the world and you could be the best director in the world, but at the same time you guys still have to communicate and convey. Now sometimes there's a lot of it where it's easy, and there's not, the director does his part, the actor does his part, and it pretty much works out well. But there's sometimes where you might need to communicate, and I'm just trying to say there was never any points of communication with you guys.
that's right. That's what I'm trying to share with you. He made the music. All I know is that if I got a beat and I can dance to it, that's it. That's his music. You understand what I'm saying?
But you never even had to explain to him as a choreographer, listen, this is the reason why I'm making this move, or this is why, not because he questioned it, but just because you want him to understand choreography and why you make these moves.
No.
It's kind of like how I was just saying, like everything in a frame or in a music or in a picture is to portray a message. Like
that's right.
Wanted to share your message of why you're doing things to him with your moves.
Well, let me ask you this. When you listen to the music, and everything you explain, how did you come to your conclusion with your questions, with what you heard and what you were explaining?
Just re-listening to things, listening to certain points, certain motions, or like you said, like the costumes, the lighting, the direct, everything draws a point. You know what I mean?
And that's mainly what I'm trying to share with you. Everything was his production. Only thing I added was my dance moves. Everything was his production. He paid for everything that was the producer's production. All I did was
even the rap you wrote.
Everything was his.
You didn't even write that.
I ain't write it. Nope.
That's kind of deep right there.
Yeah.
That draws it up in a different way because it's like now it's just like more of like a job, like a parrot. Like you say this and you just say it. Like what I mean?
But you got to understand. I came in under his genre. It's just like me doing my alkaline water, right? When I hire somebody, they have to do the work that I have to show them what I want done. Now, how they make their sales, they have to have their own charisma to make their own sales because they know how to make their sale, but it's my product, and I can't let them come in here and tell me, well, you ought to add a little more of this or take it. No, this is my product, this is where I got it, and this is where I want it. So, in some things people do, but the whole thing is, like I said, I was only with them for a year. Now, maybe if down the line, if I still with them maybe 5-6 years, it could have came to something like that. But I was just with them for a year. I was glad to be where I was. And I was glad to take my talent, use my talent, and put my talent on display to show them what I have compared to what he was giving. You understand what I'm saying?
So that's different. So it's like they had more of the Vici as the producer, but for you it was more like Povanis. Where are you going with all of this? What is, your purpose is choreography, but where are you going with it? You know what I mean? Because it's their production.
Yeah.
Like going along their journey, even though it's like you are adding your choreography to it, but it's like because they want you. You know what I mean? They want you under it's like their strength or whatever.
Yeah, it was like I'm a choreographer for hire. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? It's like I'm for hire, and I got paid for my work.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? See, everything that everybody do They do things differently. Sometimes, like over here in America, when we like let's just say New Edition. When New Edition got together, but I didn't know Bobby Brown started the group. I didn't know that. I still ain't seen the movie yet. I still ain't seen the series or whatever of New Edition yet. But all I'm saying is that I didn't know Bobby Brown started it, but they had Ralph Transvest being the lead singer. You see what I'm saying?
Well, no, I'm looking at more things from artist appreciation, where two different worlds or genres of art come together and they respect each other enough to like appreciate and want to know more about the art, and that's how you learn and grow. Like the more you learn in the arts, from appreciating by respecting it and saying, "Yo, how do you do this, or why you move like this?" It's not as a way to question you or not to question your
I know what you mean.
It's to understand and to learn and grow because you have a love for the art. So it wasn't really so much any love. It was just like you said. It was more so like an assignment.
Well, put it like this: it was love for me. That's the reason why Tyrone Vincent and he
It was love for you, but you didn't take the time to ever ask them, "Yo, what does these lyrics mean?" You just kind of.
I did ask. That's how I found out about Benny BC and what Corvallis mean. But what I'm trying to share with you is this.
Ja Rule had a whole album called Beanie Beanie Beachy in the same year that you, basically around the same time that you was doing this. He had a rap album, Beanie Beanie Beachy. Ja Rule, yeah.
You know what? I heard a few things on the Roman thing going on at the same time we was doing that, around that time of 95, 94 and 95.
Late 90s. I don't know if it was exactly 95. It might have been maybe a few years after your Beanie Beanie Beachy.
Right.
Yeah, Ja Rule had a whole album, and that's where I learned where that word. That's the first time I ever really heard that word, that phrase, Beanie Beanie Beachy.
Right.
From him, and then I looked it up and I understand, I saw a concept.
Right. A lot of Roman situations was going on at that time, back at that time. A lot of spiritual things was happening. When I say spiritual things, I'm talking about mainly coming out vocally and sharing things vividly according to on televisions and videos and stuff like that back at that time. And it was a change in time at that time. Time was
be more like questions for him to answer as far as like and when it comes down to the symbology and the meaning, because he's the one who wrote the actual song titles and come up with the concepts.
Well, let me add this, which this just hit me. I remember we used to ask Norbert, or I used to talk to Norbert's parents, with a little bit, they could speak a little English. Or it was somebody that, because I'm older than Norbert, which was the producer. I think I was maybe about 5 or 6 years, maybe older than him. But the point is, he had a brilliant mind when it comes to making. I remember they said he'd been in the school that he had a brilliant mind when it came to making music, and from what was told to me. That's why whatever he had, I was able to bring. I could bring my genre to his genre, and we mush or whatever, mesh the combination of what he had, his music, whatever he had with my dancing talent, and that's what I believe really grew us the way we did. And that's where I see it, because the questions I did, we talked, we got to know each other. But like I said, I was just glad to be there. I was glad to be in the position to do what I was doing. Didn't really get a chance to really. It was coming, but jealousy, a lot of jealousy fell in with my performance.
So he played more the position of Beanie Beanie Beachy, and you played more the position of Corvallis. Like, where am I going with this? I'm just happy to be a part of everything, but I don't really have a direction with everything. It's just that I'm, like you said, I'm part out, and that's what it is, and So
Disturbance of the future. Disturbance of the future, change for the future, something of the future. I can't remember what it is right now, but it's in the song. It just bugged me. I can't remember what it say, but I'm living that right now. Oh, that's prophecy.
Well, yeah, the future. You don't really always. A lot of us don't know the future. unless we really writing it out. You know what I mean? Especially when you don't have a plan. Like, it's just like you were going with the flow. Like you said, you ended up in Germany because your sister asked you. It wasn't like, yo, you had this grand plan. Like, yeah, I'm gonna go to Germany and this is gonna happen. Like, you kind of just like went with the destiny of the future, not in just being free and moving along with that destiny. You know what I mean? And just enjoying, like you said, living in the moment, not really so much planning.
Right.
Like the plan, like on some Veni Vidi Vici. In order to really conquer the world, it's not just gonna happen by chance. You gotta really plan it out and map it out and be strategic.
Like Caesar in Rome did.
Right, and whereas like the Quo Vadis is more just like, let's just get in this rocket and see where it takes us. We don't know what's out there, but we're gonna be brave enough to get in the rocket and take off.
And that's mostly like you said. That's more like my life.
More like the Quo Vadis, like just where am I going and what's my purpose? I'll figure it out as I type of thing.
Yep.
So that pretty much covers the Quo Vadis. I noticed in the lyrics she says for Quo Vadis, it says, I know the way, I got a price to pay, I gotta take control. I gotta know the way, I got a price to pay. I search my soul, I gotta know the way tonight or something like that. I gotta fly, I gotta make this flight. You know what I mean? So that's more like in the line with what it's like you're leaving Earth in Detroit. I gotta know the way, I gotta take control. You know what I mean? Your life was kind of at a point where you was a little bit out of control.
Yeah, I think that was Veni Vidi Vici.
No, this is Quo Vadis. I definitely took notes of the song while I'm watching it. This is Quo Vadis. Matter of fact,
when did she say? No. I gotta take control. That was Veni Vidi Vici.
Because I want to remind that both songs have very simple. Imperial goes, I got to let you take control. But, I mean, not Imperial. Veni Vidi Vici says, I let you take control.
That's right.
That's just it. But then on Quo says, I got to know the way. She's using
I got the price to pay.
I got to. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
She kept flowing with that on both songs. It worked on what you call it, so then he just switched it to I got to know the way. So they both have this chant. I got to know the way. But it's definitely Quo Vadis that has that with the one.
Right. That's true. That's right.
But they both have that I got to chant type thing. It's something that's definitely, must happen. I got to is in both of those sentences, which means, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it that this must take place. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Sure about that. You know what I mean? So, and then at the end of the video, they're leaving Earth looking as the Earth looks burning on fire with Roman soldiers.
There you go.
It's basically the Roman soldiers have fucking burnt everything down in the pillar, the wars of, you know what I mean, to the point where the few people who have a chance to escape are willing to get into this rocket ship, and I got to know I gotta take control and get the fuck up out of here and get in this thing and get in flight and get out. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Back at that, like looking back at it, like we realize, this is what the symbology of it means. How can you realize, right now what it means and how close that is to what life is like for you now? Like,
what life is for me right now on that point is
not just that part of the question, the whole part of the question.
Well, everything, like I was saying, everything back then, I was just happy to be there. Where I am right now, I understand why I went through all these things I went through, why I am today. And that's why I'm saying I have to put scripture here to let it be understood.
Answer it however you want to.
Yeah. Genesis 1:1. And I share this all the time. Genesis 1:1-5. Genesis 1, and in a sense, your questions kind of add up the same way. Genesis 1, 1 through 5. Genesis 1, 1. The creator seen everything from beginning to end. Genesis 1, 1. Seen everything. I look at that same situation with how you ask me is that the creator set all this up for me for just in my life from Germany to coming all the way back to Detroit. The Father seen all that. And when I sat back and look at my life, I can see the steps on how everything was already planned out before I even went through them. Or after I went through them, I can see how I went through it and it was already planned out for me. By me going through those steps, I'm like, I see, just like the creator seen everything from day one and 1 from beginning to end. When he said, in the beginning, Yah made heaven and the earth. He seen everything right there. But verse 2 says, the earth was void and without form, and darkness was upon the face of the deep. This is Rome taking over the whole earth. This is Rome. This is what's going on today. Rome has taken over the whole earth, the last point of all four beasts that has arisen. But now Rome is over the whole earth, has taken over everything. Now, then it says, then the Spirit of God moved upon the waters, which is the people. Darkness was the earth was darkened without form. That's the people without understanding. What Rome has did by giving everybody darkness and understanding in the mindset. Now we have.
Wait, hold on. You know what that also reminds me of? Kind of like you was, like you said, you didn't really know the meaning of these songs too. You was in the darkness.
That's right.
Like about the dumb or mostly intrigued by. Not calling you dumb.
No. You won't 100% correct. Yeah, not just me, but the world.
Dumb are mostly intrigued by the drum. They're not answering. You know, they just dancing to the beat. They don't really question, yo, what the fuck are we dancing to?
There you go.
Listen to the lyrics. Listen to the whole theme and the motive and what the message of this song. Why are we dancing to this? But no, it's because of the know, if they put the beat a certain frequency.
There you go, bruh.
And people will just, like you said, they'll dance without even questioning. Yo, do you hear what the fuck they're saying?
Right. Same with the music of today. What you just, bruh, now you see, we on point. We on point. This is what I'm saying, that this is where I am today. I'm just Genesis 1 through 5. Excuse me. But this is where majority of us are at until we start waking up to start to see where the creation really starts at. But right now, we're in the spiritual aspect. The deep, dark void of understanding first. Not only just what I was then, but the whole world under the Roman Empire, because the Roman Empire has changed everything. And it talks about that in Daniel chapter 2, verse 36. 30. I say from 36, but actually verse 39 and 40, talking about the Greek and then the Roman Empire, which has took roll over the whole earth, which is what happened. And then it said in Genesis 1, verse 2, the second half of 2, then it says the Spirit of Yah moved upon the waters. The people are the waters. Those are the ones who are changing back to the right mindset and who the Spirit is coming upon, and they're going to start keeping the law. This is what's going on today. This is what happened to me. I woke up. When I went through my spiritual awakening, the Spirit came upon me. Now, it didn't happen like that, but after my spiritual awakening, throughout time, I started to wake up. Like I say, this is my 30th year going through, since my spiritual awakening, and I have woken with the Spirit of the Creator upon me. And
Now, for me, I'm looking at dual meanings of this imperial quote.
And Master Cooper?
Yeah, I keep saying that song, but when you gave me a list of songs, that was not even in none of, I don't think.
That's number 3. There's only 3 of them that I did.
Really? Because I have no notes on this song at all. Like, that's why it get me out. Because it's like, maybe I'll just completely skip that because no notes at all on this song. Let me see, make sure I lose them or something. But yeah, 2 songs. That's why I didn't heard this one at all. So for now, I didn't even bring that one up.
I think I sent you a list of all the songs. I did all the videos.
The songs you did, like, I don't know, during that time, that's not real. And I got questions on those too. And the 2 two is there. You had lines of one of the songs. I guess there was a lot. You know, you got the same song. Then there's the two videos and Vinny Vinny Vici, but then there's two versions of one of those songs. Different places. Maybe you did, maybe I don't think because it was so much in the one list, but maybe I did or something like that. But yeah, I can look at that one because you keep saying that I don't even have that one at all. At all on it, so when I don't know nothing about that song, so it can't be about that one. But yeah, so dual meaning of the two songs. Again, the two that anyway that have the two dualistic meanings for me. It's like is that again the deeper listening when you do the deeper where is your life heading? It's like essential spirit. You know, Vinny Vidi Vici is like achievement, success, cultural, and that's kind of like how it was making it. You had the gold record. You were in the group. You were successfully, reaching being a choreographer. Because that was based around basically when you left, it was like dancing and that big thing you grew up from the time onto the time,
Boy, I don't know why this thing just going out. Seems like it's almost every other word is going in and out.
Yo, you didn't get the new computer yet, son?
Hey, bruh, the funds is bills paying, and I was going to get it.
What about taking it to the shop?
Yeah, I took it to one. I took it to one, and I took it to one. I haven't been back over that side of town to the other one I took it to, but oh man, this mug is just tripping. So it's kind of old. I need to get the new one, but this mug is just old. I got to get me another one soon.
Yeah, but okay. So anyway, the Vinny Vidi Vici was the world, but the quote, the inner world, searching and destiny. So like a crazy angle because it's like time you're living both songs. You come a new girl, you come because you leave in Detroit in a way where it's like you had to leave something new in a way of life. I mean,
And in a sense, what you're saying, it sounds like Vinny Vici was when I was here in Detroit, going through certain situations with my ex, and then Corvallis is where you go. Me when I up and left, and then when she found out I was gone, she like, shocked. And it's man,
Detroit as Vinny Vici because you was losing at that time. Girl is kicking you out. You're getting put out. Even that, you're not confident at that point. Vinny V, you're starting to take you touchdown in Germany. You know what I mean? And then from there, it's like the inner world, your inner world search asking where are you going with this whole destiny now that you've come to Germany. Where is this taking you? But then, like you said, you get like you said, a spiritual awakening. So ultimately, how you end up leave Imperial, or like what? I know you end up telling me you left your kid's mother from out there. What's her name? What was her name?
Karen. But that we way past a lot of stuff I wanted to share on that point.
What you mean? What do you mean we're way past it?
Well, because there was a lot of things I wanted to share going into Quo Vadis.
Oh, into the Quo Vadis era? Okay.
Yeah, I haven't even got to that yet. We really jumped from Vinny Beast because I didn't even get a chance to share with you about when I performed for Pepsi. There's a lot of things that I missed coming into that, and how I got out of how I ended up being the lead vocal. I didn't even get to that.
Yeah, because I'm Imperial, and it's like, yo, this must be the time he left because I didn't see you was around. The video, like, there's a time machine video where the guy's like running around in time, and it's like, you seen that video before? Like running the time machine, and he's going back in time. and I forgot the name of the song. It's a good song and it's a good concept in the video, but I noticed you wasn't in it. I think it's 1996. So you, like you said, you wasn't in the group but a year, right? Like,
Yeah, I was in there 94 and 95. That one you talking about right there, they must have just got this new guy now. I think his name is Lawrence. Me and him end up meeting each other on Facebook before they shut down my last Facebook page, and we had a chance to have a few conversations on that. And I think he's the one who sent me a couple of my pics that I have on my information as well. That I have in my file.
videos. I was looking for more videos, and I wish I knew that Nostra Cooper was one I could have did some research on, because it was like, damn, it's only these 2 videos and these live videos. I didn't really listen to the full album because it was like, I just wanted to see you in the action and see the joints, the videos.
You did get the album though, right?
I saw the full album one. Yeah, I didn't listen to it end to end because it's like, what's the purpose in that?
You can actually hear me on there too. I actually gave my shout out on there too.
Oh, word! See, I didn't know that. I wish you would have put the track. I would have listened to this.
It's on there. You can see it when you open it up and you see me.
I see the CD cover where you was on the cover.
And it's on there. It shows you on there where me and her. She'll come in first, and I'll come in second. And I say, from Detroit, yeah. You would listen to it.
That's something else. Give me something else to go back and listen to in the Nostra Cooper, and I'm gonna definitely go back in and tune into that. But yeah. So just let me see, is there any more things? So you said I jumped ahead by asking, because you haven't even got to.
That's what I was about to start telling you. Then you said, wait, we'll get to that. So we almost missed them out.
I asked a lot of the questions. I'll let you go to the quote artist, and then if it's more I want to bring up that you might make me want to bring up.
There you go.
I'll go back to that.
There you go. We can do that. So where I stopped off at last week, from what I remember, I remember talking about the selling the.
How many people are watching? Is anybody watching this?
No, ain't nobody on right now, as far as I know. No, nobody's on that. And if it is, sometimes I be noticing or I hear that a lot of people say they watch it, but they be incognito. They don't be on the phone. Well, they don't be on where I can see them. So it'll be a lot of time people in the background looking because, there's one person on right now on Facebook that just popped up. But what I'm saying is a lot of people being incognito, and when I be speaking, I don't see them. But then when they say, yeah, I be looking. A lot of people tell. I said, really? I can't tell. So either they come on later or they're checking me out while I'm talking and just be incognito. I don't know. But just to share a little bit of information, right after the like I said, after getting the gold CD, and I shared the story last week about Karen's leg being broken. Shared that. Then I had my first spiritual anointing. Just before I went to go do the video of Benny BC in Cologne, Germany. That was in October of 94. That was October of 94. We went and did the video for Benny BC. And after that, now we're touring. We're touring. We're touring. We're going around all through. Austria was our main space. We was all over Austria, Vienna, Austria, Wales, Austria, and many other places throughout Austria. And then we performed, I believe, in Amsterdam and also in Germany as well. We was, like I said, we were out there. Now it comes to time. I was telling about Tyrone Vincent. And I think I told you about the Keep It To Yourself. This is why I made Keep It To Yourself. I think I shared that last week. I came over with Keep It To Yourself. And when I did that song, or should I say the first verse to that, they looked back at me with their mouth wide open. So now after this, now Tyrone is starting to forget. Now he didn't forget me. He's leaving me purposely. He's leaving me purposely because he's trying to get me kicked out the group. Now, I don't have Norbert's number no more because Norbert, I don't know if he changed his number, whatever happened, but Tyrone wouldn't give me Norbert's number. I couldn't get in contact with him. By me not getting in contact with him, so Tyrone is leaving me and he's telling Norbert one thing, and he's making it look like I'm not coming on purpose. This is what Tyrone Vincent is doing. So now, I think what it was is that all happened after Pepsi. That's what it was. When we performed for Pepsi, we did our intro, our introduction, and we did our song, which we had the same song we did about 2 or 3 times, but in different ways. I did choreography to him, but it was another song that I did. It was an instrumental. You know how we do in dance up instrumental. So I had a full instrumental for myself, right? And what happened was, and this was a Pepsi concert. I mean, when I say a Pepsi concert, I mean it was. I want to say thousands of people, but it was hundreds of people out there, right? And it was a big stage, and it was 3 or 4 different groups. And I think we was like number 2 or 3 before the main. It was another group called, I can't even think of the name right now. It's in my mind, but I can't even think of the name right now. But whatever the name is. We were one that we were hot. We was well known. So what happened was, after me, Tyrone, and Manuela, we would perform. I think they did one song together while I went back and got a little bit of rest because I had to perform while they go back and change. So they did perform together because I got off stage, and then I came back out, and then they had a song. Norbert had a song which started off real slow, and I had the mic, and I had everybody put their hands in the air. I said, wave your hands like you just don't care. I'd be just pumping it up and stuff. The beat will start off real slow. And as we go, the beat will start to speed up. And I had them going boom, 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 boom. I stepped back. I turned around to the stage. I put that mic down. I stepped back. I turned and did a spin, and I got off. When I say I got off, I did the whole song. It wasn't like I did I got off. And I did that, like when we did our shows, I would do that every night. But that Pepsi took it. That's when he made me a third of the group. Norbert Wright to sing, he seen how I performed that night. He made me a third of the group, and I'm gonna tell you, when I got off stage, when I was walking to the back, now I'm gonna tell you something, and I don't like this, but I'm gonna tell you because I'm truthful. I'm truthful and what have you, whatever, right? Now, and I really don't want to say it because I didn't initiate it, but it caught me by surprise, and Tyrone was a little like, well, not little, he was like that, so he was he wasn't flamboyant. He was a male type of, gay. He was gay. But he was over there. I was who I was. I had my woman and stuff like that, So what happened was, after I got off stage, we was walking. He was walking in front of me, right? And the crowd was going, Michael, Michael, Michael. They were screaming my name. My name. Not Imperial, but Michael. They knew. I still went by Juice, but they, Michael. Man, the crowd was screaming my name. So I'm walking, right, and Tyrone in front of me, think Manuel was in back of me or inside me. He turned around and kissed me. I was like, man, he kissing me. Get off me, I'm just gone because, like I said, I didn't know he was gonna do that, and he did that. Get off me, So, and it was, he was just happy with us, but still, I don't play that. So he walked on, and there was a guy, big guy. I don't know who he was. He landed on the lockers on the side with his left foot up on the locker, right? And I'm walking back, right? And he asked me, he said, do you know who I am? And I said, no, who are you? He spoke English. I am such and such. And he started walking off. Like I put, bleep. I didn't know who he was. I looked at him, I said, and I just walked this way. I went back to my dressing room. So, and after that, is when Tyrone started trying to plot and get me kicked out the group because I was rising. And it wasn't me because I always looked at this as a group. I was always, I came in as a group. He got me in, came in as a group. We building together. I'm doing the choreography. He's singing. She doing. I'm hyping. I'm doing the rapping. Just not making up rap and stuff. Like I said, I'm doing the hype man. I'm doing everything they do, to keep the crowd going and making like raps off my mind and stuff like that and just talking. Next, like I said, he started being jealous. I missed 2 shows after that, 2 big shows, because he left me. We would go out. At first, Norbert would rent a car. We would take a car and we would ride out. I had my license. He couldn't drive. I'm driving or traveling out to Austria. Now, all of a sudden, he gets his own way. And I got to find my way out there. So I had to find my way out to perform 2 or 3 times. Not knowing, and it was each time I just got there, I made it to the place where our room was at, because we always had a hotel. I made it to the place where our room was at. Next thing you know, they said, well, no, they're going to perform. So I had to get dressed or whatever, go to where the performance was. As soon as I get there, they said, we just got off stage. Norbert still, see, I guess, he knew the business, and they looking for 3 of us, but only 2 showed up to perform. So 2 of them showed up. I don't know if Norbert still had to pay the money or they still paid, they only paid him for 2 performers or whatever. I don't know how that went, but Norbert started getting upset because I wasn't showing up. I don't know if Tyrone was telling him that I wasn't coming, or I don't know what he was saying, but I just know that I'm hearing Norbert's getting upset. He's about to put me out the group. See, Tyrone is strategically trying to get me put out because jealousy is sitting there now. So,
hey, yo, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Who is Tyrone?
He's the one in Vinny Vinny Vici.
Wait, he's the one with the leopard hair?
That's him, yeah.
Because he's the one saying the rap in that song.
That's right. He's the male vocalist.
Yeah, I meant to ask about him earlier too, but some said ask about him, and then I kind of got to ask about him. So I was gonna ask you because you know what, that hairstyle was way ahead of his time. Like, there's people who wear stuff like that now.
He was like that before Dennis Rodman.
Well, Dennis Rodman was out before '95, but
No. What I'm saying is,
to the detail this guy had it. Like
what I'm saying is, when Dennis Rodman was with the San Fernando, what's their name? The basketball team, the Spurs. I think their name was. When I came back, he was wearing his hair like that. Tyrone was doing his hair long before Dennis Rodman.
Yeah, but Dennis Rodman was doing that when he was on the Bulls.
That was before the Bulls. I was back here at that time.
I'm talking about the Spurs was after the Bulls.
No, the Spurs was before the Bulls.
No, listen to me, bro. Rodman played for the Pistons first. Then he went to the Bulls and started wearing the...
You want to bet on it? You want to bet me on it?
Oh, no, I ain't betting, but we gonna look it up.
Wait, I tell you, look it up while I'm telling my story. You're going to definitely come back and share it with me because he left the Spurs and then went to the Bulls.
Oh, I'm about to look it up right now.
Guaranteed. I'll bet you on that. But while you're looking that up, like I said, Tyrone was trying to get me kicked out, and I missed a couple of shows. And I think the 3rd show, this guy named Wolfgang, he said, he said, don't let Tyrone know, because I know Tyrone, I guess he's trying to control everything. Tyrone's trying to control everything. So he told, Wolfgang told me, I'm going to give you Norbert's number. You can talk to him, and, don't let him know that I gave you the number. Don't let him know I gave you the number. I said, okay, cool, because I've been trying to get in contact with him. I can't get in contact with him, right? I ended up calling him that night after the show that I was supposed to do, which was the 3rd show.
They say the Spurs, 93. He played for the Spurs from 93.
Uh-huh. And when did he get with the Bulls?
I remember him playing for the Spurs like that, but yeah.
But when did he get with the Bulls?
They say in
Exactly.
But it say he died in 93, so it was a quick. That's because he played so quick. I can't even remember that.
But I'm trying. If I'm trying to tell you, you telling me. I'm telling you what I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, but Dennis Rodman, he only dyed his stuff like one color. This guy had like leopard spots in his.
I know that, but that's what I'm saying.
That's like some 2025 style stuff that they wasn't doing this in 95.
Well, all I'm gonna say is this. I remember seeing Dennis Rodman with more than one style of color in his hair, maybe one or two, maybe three in his hair at the time.
He say that Dennis Rodman, when I'm looking it up, he say that he got that from Demolition Man, Western.
I don't know where he got it from.
Nah, that's what it's saying.
Okay, that might be, but all I'm saying is Tyrone was doing that before he was. Because I remember when I left
his style is futuristic, bro. Like and one ain't got nothing to do with the other. This dude don't even know that.
I'm not saying he did. I'm not saying they do. I'm just telling you they was doing it before. See, you remember, you gotta understand, Dennis Rodman, he travels. See, and they had a lot of those different type of stuff going on. If he was dealing if Dennis was dealing with Madonna wasn't always in America. She was in Europe. Dennis Rodman been all over. So who knows? He may be in that one of them places where they wear all them what they call that, all that leather or all that, but you know when they be.
But listen, I'm super into fashion. Like it's Fashion Week right here in New York. Your man's style is a style that's so futuristic. Is they wear in 2020? Like I've looked at hair dye styles. Like they weren't as sophisticated. Like this man's stuff is like down to the cheetah print. Like when you buy.
That's it. The cheetah. Yep.
Yeah, his stuff looked perfect. Like perfectly cheetah dye. Back in the 90s, it wouldn't have been perfected like this. Like my man's style was perfected, mastery style in that time in 95, and his stuff, people got that type of mastery only now in 2025 with all the technology and years of just playing around.
But now look at what you're saying on the technology and the style, and look at where it's coming from. Look at where it's coming from.
Well, that style is probably coming from a lot of like when you study fashion and punk, like punk.
But where is it coming from? Is it coming from the United States or is it more like European?
Well, you know, punk comes from over there in Europe. So,
that's what I was getting at.
But then it came over here to places like.
And that's what I'm getting at.
You know what I mean? But punk definitely originated in Europe.
That's all I was saying. All I'm saying is,
yeah, but what I'm trying to get that you not getting is that that's just like primitive punk style is not how it would look as modern 2025 punk is like polished it and made it look so crispy. Like what I'm saying is he's wearing it like it would be more crispy. Now he wasn't on some primitive just put dye in his shit. His shit was like mastered level.
That's all I'm saying.
You know what I'm saying? And not even over there, everybody was doing it. This dude is ahead of the game, bro.
That's all I'm saying. But see, that's all I'm trying to say is that
like Dennis Rodman, he was doing it on a primitive level of like this. You know, this is just the beginnings of people dyeing their hair.
Right. All I'm saying is this.
The boy was advanced level 2025 dye.
Right. All I'm trying to share and put it down is like this. When Tyrone was doing it, like you said, he's doing his on a mastery level because he made like that style. You know how them drag queens and
father and he advanced into the future. He's like Andre 3000.
There you go.
Like, you know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. So when Dennis Rodman started doing it, it wasn't like Tyrone's. Dennis Rodman, he probably, I'm just saying. I'm not saying that's where he got it from or not. But all I'm saying is that wherever he got it from, it had to be from Europe, and he probably started trying to do it that way. It wasn't as good as it was going on over there.
He says it's a quote that I just read. He watched the Demolition Man.
Right.
Yeah, he got influenced by the movie Demolition.
Okay. But that's still the European style. We wasn't wearing our stuff like that.
Well, no, remember Kwame the rapper? He was in 1990. Remember he used to dye the little stripe in his face?
Yeah, a stripe, right.
Yeah, so like, you know, we've had styles,
I'm not saying we didn't. All I'm just saying is, all I'm saying is where the majority of the style came from, and the stuff that, and I'm not giving them all props and stuff like that, but I'm just saying the style, he was just doing it. I'm just saying I seen him doing it long before Dennis Rodman. That's all I was trying to say.
That's the only reason I noticed him. Because I'm like, yo, the way this dude died, the leopard print spots, it's like how kids would do it in 2020. It looks like that detail. Like, it wasn't primitive where it's just like, yo, I just dye my stuff. Like, no, this is like refined 2025. Like, he was so futuristically ahead of the game. People are doing what he's doing now.
That was his style. Yep. That was his style. He actually did it. He did a leopard style. He did a tiger style. He did all different type of styles, but that was just his style. That what made him stand out. So when like I said, huh?
He definitely stood out because no one was doing that in 90, not like on the way he was doing it.
Right. So by him being like that, and by him bringing out that was his style with us with Imperial. Me, my dance style, and then I was more buff.
What did he do besides just what? Like, he just looked different. That's it.
That was all just that. He was the male vocalist, and that's all he was his style like that. And
vocalist, he was a vocalist.
Yeah, he was doing. He's the one that said what was he saying in Bitty Bitty?
Like y'all use the same voice, and then you said like, because I couldn't tell. That's why I was like, when you said you was rapping and the way he lip sync over that track, and then I heard you lip sync over the same. It seemed like the same voice. Like, so that's why I'm like, who voice is that really?
Well, like I said, Benny Beatsy was him and Manuela. So I didn't say I wasn't doing no tracks on Benny Beatsy. Quo Vadis was I was doing the track on that one, and Manuela Ray was.
In the video, you do like a little lip sync to one of the voices at the end of the video. The same voice that he's doing, the dude Tyrone. I see you do it. Maybe it's just because you just mouthed it in the video just for the video, but yeah, man, that's what maybe why.
Yeah, because when they do the video, they're not really singing it. They're actually doing the lip sync. Yeah. So
part two, when they come up to the camera on you, you like I forgot what part it is, but it's like it's the same voice. They don't show him, they show you, and your mouth is moving to the word or whatever like that. And I'm like, so is it him or is it him that's voice this is? I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, when you say break this beat, it don't sound like you. It's like you got like this European type.
It's more like a Caribbean type of sound.
Like break this beat and stuff. I'm like, yo, that don't sound like you.
Yep. So I actually had to come in and do that, and like I said, but what happened on that, coming into that, like I said, when Tyrone ended up trying to get rid of me, and I ended up talking to Norbert, which is the producer, he kept asking me that night. That night, he asked me, because I didn't know what Tyrone was actually trying to do. He asked me that night, he said, would you dance without him? Would you perform without him? I said, we're a group. I'm loyal. Right? He said, would you perform without him? I said, we're a group. He said, but would you perform without him? I said, we're a group, because that was after I had the conversation with him. After when Wolfgang gave me the phone number, I called Norbert. Me and Norbert had a long conversation. Norbert was like, well, why you ain't come to the show? I said, Tyrone left me. He said, Tyrone left you. He told me that you didn't want to. I forgot how the conversation went, but I was just mainly telling him, Tyrone left me. He said, I lost money on a couple of these shows. I said, Tyrone left me. I said, he know I was supposed to be moving, coming this way. I don't know Germany. I don't know how to get out here, but I found my way to get here to do the show, and I missed the show. Then he said, oh, I see what's going on now. So I guess that's what happened. Then he said, would you perform without him? I said, we're a group. I said, would you perform? I didn't know he was doing what he was doing. He said, would you perform without him? I said, we're a group. He said, but would you perform without them? I said, we're a group. And he kind of just wore me down. I said, well, and I thought about what we used to say here in Detroit. Me and my boy Matt and our group, we used to say, If one person didn't show, the show must go on because we knew how to. It was five of us. It'd be you, 5 or 6 of us. We knew how to take our routines and break them down to even if it was 2 or 3 of us. Then we still knew how to break our machine, do our routines. Still. So that hit me when he said that. Well, would you perform without him? I said, well, that hit me in my mind about the show must go on. So I said, well, if I have to, I'll perform. But we're a group. We're a group. I'm standing on we're a group. He said, okay, that's what I want to know if you would perform without him. I said, okay, yeah, but if I had to, but we're a group, Next thing I know, this is when we had to do Quo Vadis. Now I'm coming to in 95. Now this is 95, February of 95. I had to go to Munich, Germany. In Munich, Germany is where I first met Manuela Ray on the set to do the video. I first met her on the set to do the video. So now, me and her, we get there, and I'm meeting her, hey, how you doing? I'm meeting her, whatever, and we just do the video. The video of Quo Vadis, if you see it. We did the video, and next thing you know, we was in Munich, Germany at the time. We did the video, and then I think we had to come back there to do some, Photoshop, take photos and stuff like that. We had to do many photos when I was with Imperial as well. But I took pictures and stuff like that, and matter of fact, I'm gonna send you some of my stuff. Bro. I'm gonna send you some clips. I don't know if you ever seen any of them, but I'm gonna send them to you just for you to have. Okay?
What you mean clips of what?
My videos, not videos, my pics, my magazine pics.
Oh, okay, yeah.
When I was in the magazines, I'm gonna send them to you.
I would have never. How would I see those? No, I've never seen them.
No, I'm gonna text them to you.
Okay.
I'm gonna text you some of my video, some of my magazine clips when I was in the magazines over there.
Word.
Yeah, I'm bruh. You really inspired me on the questions that you first started off with, and how my life intertwined, and the way you really inspired and let me see things in a different way, because the questions you was asking, how it actually intertwines with my life. When at first I didn't see that at first.
It's just like, again, like the movie, right? Everything is a symbol in your life. When you are looking at things, like you said, whether you pick up on it or not, the people and things you're going through, the places you're at, even the song that's on the radio, everything is a message.
That's right.
It's a symbol. It's a universal talking to you. It's a lesson.
There you go.
It's a symbol for you. It's a person for you. It's a job. It's an experience for you. Everything is about you, and you is so. You know what I'm saying? So
yep.
It's like you have to look at everything like this. Like whether you were at the time, is I understand maybe you weren't. You might have been oblivious to looking at life this way, but like you can always look back at it in hindsight and say, yeah, this does line up with every why. I was conquering Germany, and what was I going to do future and where I'm at now? And I decided to leave that thing and leave that Roman Empire, and now I'm
and I'm on a spiritual journey now.
Now you're on a futuristic ship to somewhere else. You know what I mean? Like, so you have to really understand that, it's like looking back. That's what the show, This Is Your Life. Remember that show? This Is Your Life?
Yep.
That's a show before I even, my time, but like, I know that that's what it's about. I never really watched that show, but I remember like cartoons and other things that were kind of parody that show.
Right.
About looking back at your life, looking back before, even when you die, they say before you die, you have a flashback
of your life.
They even show that sequence in a lot of movies when the characters about to, even in the movie Bruce Leroy, what was it, Last Dragon, when he showed enough had his head under the water before he,
and he realized that he was the master.
But he had to go through all of these flashbacks and everything in his life, that would draw him up to the point and before he could get, So it's like, man, sometimes in order for you to reach that master level or, before it's all over, you're going to look back at your whole life and it'll make sense, even though it might not make sense in the minute while you're living it. You know what I mean? But
yep.
If you're wise, you'll be able to discern it while you're living it. You know what I'm saying?
There you go. That's it. Yeah, buddy, man, and that's a fact. That is a fact. Let me see. So with being right after the video, I had to come back out to Munich, Germany, a few times, and we had a photo shoot. Right now, in this photo shoot, me and her, we was just taking pictures, moving, like pausing and stuff like that. And I got to the point where I was able to take her. I'm picking her up, put her on my shoulder. At one time, I took her and I swung her around and I bent down like that, and she was right on. And that was the main picture that they use. It's called Star Portrait. I'm gonna send that one to you too. I threw her around on my back and I bent down like that, and she was on me right there, like she caught me, and we took and they called that it was nice. It was nice. I'm sending them to you for real. That was called Star Portrait, and we did another one. I'm sending them to you, but you can check them out. Yeah, man. But that was a highlight of my life, man. That was something I really felt that the Father. I felt the Father blessed me. I'm just saying what I'm seeing now, because a lot of time before, when people go through their spiritual awakening, a lot of them end up in jail, and then they go through their spiritual awakening or their spiritual or I'm just saying awakening, and then they come out of jail in a whole new different life, and they're following a different way of life. Me, I end up going to Germany. I end up traveling and went through my spiritual awakening and woke up, and I'm going through my different way of life. So many people go through a different way of life in many different ways. But I ended up going over there before I was brought back home, long before I brought back to Detroit, but before I was brought back to the States, going to Mississippi, then to Atlanta before coming back to Detroit. So that was my time when I was there doing that. But what I'm going to do is in part 4, this is the part 3 here. In part 4, we're going to go into Quo Vadis. Nostra Cooper. We just did Quo Vadis.
There's a bunch to go in, man. Like, because I still got to ask those questions about them songs that got nothing to do with Imperial. And it's
of course, those are coming. Those are.
And I want to ask you about, because I know some of these songs are tied to your
spiritual awakening.
Your kid's mother, Karen, and how you had the awakening, and the reason behind why when you told her how you was.
Exactly. That's a whole nother part. That's all. See, all these are chapters in my life, and I really take you from one chapter to the next, to the next chapter, to the next chapter, to the next. That's how I'm actually taking you to and through.
Yeah, but sometimes I like to do it like a Quentin Tarantino movie. He might start from the end. And then
however you want to do it. It's just that I want to make sure I want to take it through, because this.
Telling the story too. Sometimes you can tell the whole story and going in without going in just the regular.
They're going straight through it. That's why I'm asking you. But that's why a lot of questions you're asking, I'm answering the questions as you're asking them. But I'm answering the question as you're asking them, but I also want to go through for my sake so I can still see the timeline of things the way they're going.
Yeah, I get it. Do it how you like to do it.
Yeah, because I can see the timeline, and it brings back, it triggers memory for me. It's triggering memory for me for everything that I'm saying. I'm like, okay, I remember this, I remember that. And it's kind of things like coming back. I just thought about something I did for the children on TV. But that's another part of the story, though. But yeah, man, all I can say is that I had a great time.
Yeah, even I want to hear about your sons and all of that. The ones that's over there,
all that. Believe me, we might end up going, man. We're gonna have more than 4 parts. I already know that for now.
There gotta be another 2 more parts.
It might be 4 compared to trying to get back to where I'm at now, but. I really am glad and I like the way you're asking the questions. You're helping me see things as well on a different level, as well as what I come to see, because it's all coming to a head, and it's still better for the real story when the story decides to come out. If I do a real movie or book or whatever, however it goes, it all will happen, and it's all good for the story. And I really am appreciating your questions, though, bro, for real.
Nah, anytime, bro. You already know.
Yeah. So what we're going to do is we're going to pause. So we got 1 hour and 44 minutes in right now. So we're going to We're going to stop part 3. This is called Life of Mikael, question and answer, part 3 and 4. We're in part 3 now. We're getting ready to go into part 4. So we get ready to pause this right now and then and come back. So just before we do that, or as we get ready to do that, I just wanted to say that I am that Mikael in Daniel chapter 12, verses 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's me. Showing the holy people who they're really supposed to be, waking them out of their dead beds, which is really in their heads. For all of you who's living in the new, this is for you. I'm that same Mikael in Revelations 12, battling that red dragon where Satan dwells, who deceiveth the whole world but prevaileth not, because the horn is blown without a doubt. This was prophesied for you to see, that Mikael is really me. We'll be right back. Zoom. I'm gonna pause you real quick, and G1 is the questionnaire. He's the one who's giving the interview, or as I tell the story, he's asking questions. So this is the reason why for the question and answer. G1 is my man that's asking the questions and really wanted to get this started on the question and answer, which I am glad, because I'm glad a lot of things are coming back and coming out, and a lot of memory is coming out as well. And I'm glad it's getting recorded. So other than that, we'll be right back. I'm going to pause Zoom real quick, which is the full version, and we'll be right back.
Recording stop.
And for YouTube Live, Instagram, and for Facebook, if you'd like to get in contact with me, you can always call or text me at 770-572-5315. That's 770-572-5315. 12 o'clock. There we go. There we go. 12 o'clock, y'all. As I was saying, that you can always connect back with me. You can call or text me at 770-572-5315. That's 770-572-5315. You can also email me at lkhyym@gmail.com. That's lkhyym@gmail.com. Excuse me. And if you'd like to connect with me on YouTube and also on X, formerly known as Twitter, my X, formerly known as Twitter, and my YouTube, which you can like, subscribe, and share. You can connect with me there at JuicePro33. That's JuicePro33. That's JuicePro33, and that's all together. It's not separated, it's all together. And also, you can connect with me on Instagram and TikTok. Instagram and TikTok at L'chaim_the Juice. L'chaim, which is LKHYYM_THEJUICE. Again, that's LKHYYM_THEJUICE. All right, that's L'chaim_the Juice at Instagram and TikTok. And my other TikTok is Michael the Juice Harris. That's my other one. You can connect with me on there, which is MICHAELTHEJUICEHARRIS. That's MICHAELTHEJUICEHARRIS, all together on TikTok. And my Facebook is Mikael Harris, which is MI_CHAEL space HARRIS. That's MI_CHAEL all together space HARRIS. My Facebook. And for my full version, the Zoom is on YouTube. Like I say, like, subscribe, and share. And it's YouTube under video. My video is on my full version. My live is part 1 and part 2. That's my lives. There's part 1 and part 2 for the live, but the full version, please like, subscribe, and share on either one, which is the full version is on YouTube at JuicePro33, as well as the full version is on patreon.com/LKHYYM. That's patreon.com/LKHYYM. And also, excuse me, rumble.com/LKHYYM. That's rumble.com/LKHYYM. All right. So that's the end of part 1 for part 3 and 4 of Life of Mikael, question and answer, part 3 and 4. And this is the end of part 1 of 3 and 4. We're about to go into part 4 with part 2. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to part 2, but this is the end of part 1. And other than that, Instagram, I thank you for your time, your patience, your listening ear, and your seeing eye. We'll be right back with part 2 of Life of Mikael, question and answer. Peace. That's in Instagram. All right. And over here on Facebook, I thank you for your time, your patience, your listening ear, and your seeing eye. And I see Sergio Guevara, one of my boys back in Atlanta. Good to see you came through, bruh. Hopefully I'll see you in part 2. See you soon. Peace to the family. Alrighty. And over here on YouTube Live, part 1. I thank you for your time, your patience, your listening ear, and your seeing eye. Appreciate, love you, and always. Peace. Excuse me.